everyone, how's everyone doing? Super? Great. I mean, if it's not super, that's fine. Like I always say, if there's life, there is hope, it will get better. Trust me, it will. Good. If you're new here to my channel, you're very welcome. My name is Akwe and I'm really excited that you're here today. Don't make today your last. Click on that subscribe button right now, now. And hit the notification bell. There'll be something here to bless you every Wednesday. I post videos every Wednesday. Share real life experiences, stories, Bible stories, things really that help us to have an intentional walk with God. Relate those stories to the Bible. If I'm sharing real life experiences, and we can just draw lessons from there and to help us have a more intentional walk with God. So that seems like something that you're interested in. Don't leave today without subscribing. Thank you very much. Right, and for every one of you that's been with me on this journey, thank you so much. I do not take it for granted. You know that already, don't you? Good. Right, so today I wanted us to talk about, it was really more about like this encouragement, have to have a word for your life. I mean, I did that last year, and by God's grace, I'll keep doing it as long as I've got this channel. Yeah. It was, right. I know when I shared last year, I talked about like, do you know like when people do like vision boards and all that? As good as they are, it was not really something that I was really interested in. I tried, but it wasn't just for me. So when it now came about like having a word for your life, I was like, oh, this is something I can do. I could run with this one, and and that's why I started doing it. And I'm just gonna explain to you why is it important to have a word for your life? Why? You know, if you can remember the interview I did with Pastor Sally, it was September 2021. I'm going to put a link to the video at the end. Please watch it. If you watch it before, watch it again, just so to give you like a fresh insight into this new year, you know. That she really explained why it's really important for us to have a word for our life. Just watch. It's good to speak words into people's life, but why do we have to speak words into our own life? Why? Because someone could just like, oh, this church folks, they just make up these things. What do you mean word for your life? Well, okay, my word for my life is rich. I need some pounds and dollars on my doorstep. Also, like really, yeah. So why is it important really to speak positive words into our own life or declare words into our situation? Why should we do that?
Well, first of all, I think words are really powerful. The book of Proverbs says life and death are in the power of the tongue, and it's not just what we say to other people, it's what we say to ourselves really affects our lives. And I think that we were made in the image of God, and he created the whole world with a word. He spoke a word, and you know, night turned into night and day turned into day, and everything came into being. So exactly. In the same way, I think our words have got a creative power more than we realise. In the book of James, you can read there that James, the apostle, tells us that our words, you know, they like control our lives. He says they can sort of set something on fire or steer it in a certain direction. He likens our words and our tongues to the rudder of a ship. Yeah. And, you know, I don't know if you've ever seen these great big oil tankers. You might remember that one that ran aground in the Suez Canal earlier this year. But if you saw the rudder in the picture when it was sort of up on the bank there, the rudder of a ship is quite tiny compared to the size of the ship, just as our tongue is quite tiny. But that rudder of a ship steers that ship. It determines where it's going, and it doesn't just determine where it's going. You need the rudder to keep you on a straight course as well. So when you've set your course, the rudder keeps you on it. In the same way with our tongues steer us and they keep us on track. And so we think it's important as a church to ask God every year, what should our focus be this year? What should we really be looking at, so that everything we do lines up with that word, and we don't just sort of go here, there and everywhere in a sort of scattered approach. It helps us to focus, and I think that's true whether it's us as a church or us as individuals as well.
As you can see, just like how the Bible likened the words that we say to the rudder of a ship, having a word for your life is very important because it helps to steer the course of your life for that year. Because you have that word, so you're really focused on that word, and you take every distraction, you take them away, because everything you're doing, you're kind of like checking it with that word. Am I doing this? Is this word? Is this word really leading me? Is this thing I'm going to do now? Does it align with this word God has given me for this year? So yeah, it helps you to stay in line with God and in alignment with Him throughout the year. So what's my word for this year? I kind of like gave a little tip last week video. Can anyone guess what the word for my life was for this year? Let me know in the comment section if you actually know what the word for my life is before I said it. I'd like to know how many people got that. Right, so the word for my life this year, drum roll, it's obey. Now, last week when I talked about the story of Saul, so like I said, towards the end of the year, I was reading the Bible, just really studying, and then I had that kind of like conviction with how Saul's life, how he disobeyed God. The twist that in First Samuel 13, when he offered sacrifices that wasn't meant to, and the second one in First Samuel 15, when God said destroy everything in total, he brought back the king and other things that look good, and then Samuel told him, what have you done to obey better than sacrifice? That really struck me. And so at the beginning of this year as well, I kept reading the Bible and I'm really thinking, God, what's the word for the year? What do you want me to run with this year? And that word kept coming back. And then I was looking at the second Samuel at the beginning of this year, and the life of David really struck me. It was in 2 Samuel 5. I think, yeah, it was 5. And David was about to go to war with the Philistines and then asked God, should I go? In verse 19, God says, go. And he went, and he obeyed God and he defeated them. Again, the Philistines wanted to strike again and they're like, God, should I go up against them? And God says to him this time around, don't go. And that was in verse 23. But then he gave him an alternative instruction what to do, and David did as the Lord said, and again he defeated them. And it really occurred to me, like, you see, God can give us all we want. He's got, like I was talking about how to conquer ground in this year. But he was just saying to me, like, you need to obey. Because last year, the word for my life was grow. And I was thinking, yes, God, you grow. Because the idea was me growing and then he's going to keep blessing me. I'm like, yeah, you've made me grow in certain character. So this year definitely is the year I'm going to conquer. So all my mind was like, oh, the year to conquer, receive. But God was saying, yeah, I can make you conquer, I can make you do all of those things, but you're going to have to obey. Obey every step of the way, not some things in everything. And then just a day ago, I can't get my words out. A day ago, I was just reading like the story in First King 13, 11 to 30 about the young prophet and old prophet, where he's had a certain word from the Lord telling him direction, what to do. However, this old prophet cunningly told him something, an alternative, and he obeyed that, and that led to his death. And then it really occurred to me again, like, ooh, this word obey, God is really, really hammering it. Obey. And it's definitely, I know that it's God. I'm like, yes, Lord, I know, I've heard. I know the word for the year is obey. I'm going to obey. So that's how I really came about having the word for my life for this year. It's really God told me that everything I need to obey, not some things, and not like getting too familiar. Okay, I've done that before, I'm not going to ask. Asking every step of the way. You can see how David was. He went to battle, he won. They come again, would I just as well, like, okay, God told me to go the first time, I should just go again. No, but he also asked the Lord, and then the Lord told him to go again, and then he went, and then I told him what to do the second time, and he defeated. So that's it. That's how I got the word for my life this year, and I'm really praying for the grace of God to obey. Obey. That's it. Obey. So, do you have a word for your life? Have you ever thought about it? If you've never done it before, it's not too late to start. Just think about it. Words are powerful. If you have a word that is guiding you, everything you're going to do is going to be like, you want to narrow it down to that word. That word will be like a focus everywhere you go. You can put it, stick it. I mean, if you like sticking things, stick it everywhere in your house. Like obey, whatever your word is. Stick all over your eyes. It's everywhere, and it helps you to stay focused. Yeah, think about it. You've never done before. And if you've done it and you have a word for your life, if you don't mind sharing, I've shared mine. Share in the comment section so we know what it is. And we help each other grow, pray, and just really live our best intentional life and have an intentional walk with God. Okay, yes, that's it. That's all I want to talk about today. And if it's blessed you, give it a like, share someone else I think is going to bless as well. And I'll see you next Wednesday. And like I said, if you haven't watched the interview I did with Pastor Sally, please go watch it. I'll put a link in the description, and I'll put the video at the end as well. It's a good watch. It's very insightful. I had to watch it again before doing this video. Like, oh yeah, like, oh, wow. So it's really good, really good, really good. Right, good. That's it. Bye. God bless you. Bye.